These days, I'm just using a K-cup in the morning, although Dawn would be more than happy to make me a coffee if I wanted him to. Times change, seasons change. Anyway, what I wanted to say is, a lot of mornings I wait till I'm done outside and then I make it because it makes so quick. But today I wanted it early, and these little silicone holders that you set on top, I got this one at Hallmark store 5 years ago. They are fantastic because you can turn any coffee cup into a cup that has a lid. It really does a great job of making sure my coffee doesn't get cold while I'm walking around, because it's going to take me 20 or 25 minutes to drink it while I'm doing the cats and in and out before I sit down. They work really great. I'm going to see if I can find them on Amazon, and if I can, I'll put a link in the description. But the little flower actually serves a purpose, for lifting it off, or it's out on the edge enough to lift it off. Don uses them too. He also really likes it. I bet if we go in the other room where he's sitting, he's got it. So are you using yours this morning too? Yep, see?
Oh, yeah. These little things, these are really handy little things. They work even in the summer, but the wintertime, they're a must-have.
Yeah. And sometimes Don starts to drink his coffee. He gets hot and he puts the fan on. Yeah. So if I put my cover on my cup and it's sitting on my table, it helps keep my coffee warm. Yeah. It helps with the fan, air not going over the top of the cup or whatever. But
that's right.
Yeah, and they do come in other colors. When I bought them that day at Hallmark, I was thinking girl, but it looks like a lily pad is what it looks like. But they come in other designs.
I agree.
Hey, Mitty. Hi. She's often here. This is kind of her spot. Sometimes when you go past, she'll reach out a paw. She doesn't require tons of petting. She's just not built that way. But she's a sweet girl. Hey, Mitt. Yeah, she looks like Tux. And Tux is probably her daddy. But she doesn't act like Tux. Everyone's doing good this morning. Let me go clean that water bowl there on the right. The raccoons like to put their feet in it. And the possums, they all drink out of it. And I gotta clean it. Gotta clean it every morning in the summer for sure. Marty is playing. He's roughed up the moss over there, and he's chasing the other kitties, and he almost went up a tree. I realize he's still now, of course, that I bent down here. Killed my knees trying to show you what he was doing, but he's very playful in the morning. And he's looking to play right now. Which is a little surprise since I'm out here at 8 o'clock late and he didn't eat more, but he's definitely wanting to play. Hey, bud. Hi. There you go. Hi, you got the moss? You got the moss? Wow, that's the first time we've seen a paper since a week at least. 10 days, 7 to 10 days. And we're supposed to get it through the 18th, and they just stopped delivering it.
Yeah.
But is that the Sunday paper? Because that looks like a really tiny paper.
Yeah, well, we'll find out.
Okay. So we are headed to the North Carolina Museum of Art trail this morning. Over off Blue Ridge Parkway, which is in Raleigh. And Dawn intentionally didn't plug Jules last night, so she's got 76 miles of range. But it says we can make it back home, so hey, that's good.
Yeah, so it says 9%.
We'll see what it is
when we get back home.
Oh, and by the way, you know, there's obviously tons of options should we decide to dart in someplace for some juice.
Sure.
Yeah, at least when Don's with me, he sees the same kind of behavior from a lot of these drivers that I see. Get on your bumper when you're even doing 5 over the speed limit to try to force you up the road, and even when you're in the right-hand lane. Impatient people, just, you know, so when I come home and I tell him the war stories, at least he sees it when he's out on the road too.
K.
It's an older X, it's a 75D, looks brand spanking new. He keeps up with it. I'm glad you're driving through the construction zone. There's enough cement barricades here to...
Yeah, it's a little...
it's basically, and this is, you're going here. Yes. Yeah, the car doesn't know about the temporary block off of being closer to the exit, so it was telling him 1/10 of a mile, but I could see that, you know, this is, I guess, where he wanted him to go or something. I don't know. Hopefully we're correct.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I noticed when we saw the Model X at Yates Mill yesterday that it was backed in. And I'm going to tell you the reason why you see Teslas backed in all the time. It's twofold. Number one, the backup camera gives you so much information, and with the mirrors pointed down, that you can totally tell where you're parking and you're comfortable. And then number two is you can't see really where the front of the car is. Maybe Don sees it better than me, but it's like the ability to see where that wheel is not good. So if you don't want to curb your wheels, back in.
Yeah.
We're here, and there's a lot of people in the parking lot. It's not full, but there's people here today. Don's co-pilot is installed. We pretty much drive around with this open because we're all the time putting a water bottle here, although it hurts our arms. I really miss the cup holders on the back side of the console. Even if that darn thing pops out when you don't want it to, I miss it. It hurts our shoulder to try to reach back there. And we use the door pocket sometimes, but still. Yep, you can tell you're at the art museum. Yeah, apparently a lot of people had the same idea we did. And it's not cool out here. So it's a small bit of a surprise. Planting of sycamore trees. It's a little unexpected. They do grow here naturally, but those were obviously planted. American sycamore, see? Well, that plant in particular loves butterflies, or rather butterflies love it. Too bad there aren't any on it right now. Certainly warm enough for butterflies today. Yeah, well, the sunflowers are near the big rings, Donnie. The Stargate, the piece of art that I think ought to be called the Stargate. That's where they are. We do have our walking started, our tracking started, and you can see where the people are out there and where we're headed. We didn't pass a sign that said how far it is. I guess we'll find out at the end of our walk, huh? Oh, the zinnias with the swallowtail. You can tell I lost interest in walking and gained interest in butterflies. There's a black swallowtail or a pipe vine or something over here. Yeah, that's not a red spotted purple, and it's not a swallowtail either. I'd have to look up what that is. He's being so good. He's basically walking in a circle while I take a few pictures. The zinnias are really pretty here. I'm so happy I got butterfly pictures on some pretty flowers.
Wow, well that made the trip worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what year this trail opened, but it's been open a long time, and they've added art installations over time. I mean, the kids and I have been out here and walked before when they were younger, so it's been here a while. Well, I'm gonna say, oh, I see the sunflowers are the larger area. It's just past the rings. And yes, this piece is supposed to look like a person. Collapse. Collapse 1 is the name of this piece of art. Over there is the amphitheater, and they show movies on the weekends outside, and I've heard some clapping. Maybe they have a church service over there on Sunday mornings, or something else is going on. So this is what I call the Stargate, and I do realize it's 3 rings instead of 1, but if you just look at 1 ring, and I know it doesn't have the Egyptian symbols on it or anything, but still, it totally reminds me of Stargate. I love this. This is my favorite out here. Well, everyone basically said that the sunflowers here were not as spectacular as the sunflowers over at Dorothea Dixon. That was accurate. Which does not mean that they're not still enjoyable and not still good for the environment and attracting insects and pollinators and that kind of thing. Besides, it's Sunday and this is a nice walk, although albeit sunny. I think Don was thinking I want pictures, it's not sunny enough. But I was more thinking it's cloudy enough to be out there on that trail that's in the sun. Yeah, the nice thing about the art out here is that if you come with kids, they can walk on the art or go in the art or go through, you know, it's an immersive, let's call it, art experience. I've been in that structure before with the kids where they wanted to play. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the main difference here is that these sunflowers don't have irrigation, and the ones over at Dorothea Dix did. And that these are meant to more blend in naturally to the environment instead of look like an agricultural planting. So the blue trail is 6/10 of a mile, and it's paved and very wheelchair friendly, and it's all very level. Now we've gone past that. We're headed towards the pedestrian bridge over 440. I just saw a picture of a hornet's nest, and that'll put some fear in you. The picture looks closer than I was because I've got, you know, my big camera around my neck, my 70-300 lens on it, and yeah. It's a piece of art though. Hornet's nest, very much a piece of art. Don and I both remember there being a piece of art in this corner over here before, but they've removed it. It was a lot of metal and climbing and going underneath and another kid immersive thing, but it wasn't really playground equipment, and if I had to guess, maybe people did stuff they weren't supposed to with it. It was a safety liability. I've got pictures of Don here with the boys on it. They played for a good long time the last time. There's the map, and I really do want to go over the bridge, out over 440 for at least a minute. Yeah, it's sort of hard to tell how far you'd really be walking, but you can get an idea of the trails out here. Usually we take the brown to the green, go out on the bridge, and then follow back this way. Although if we do that the whole way, we'll miss the sunflowers. So when we get here, we want to go back up so we can get back to the sunflowers. Oh, it's so much nicer down here in the shade. I think this is Reedy Creek, if I'm not mistaken. Dogs enjoying themselves. There's one little guy in the water over there, very cute. Well, it's not dried up and it's not full up either. It's somewhere in the middle. Yeah, everything's wet. Yeah, well, downtown Raleigh, even most of Fuquay got probably a couple inches of rain in that deluge yesterday. Just not us. It's at least 5 degrees cooler in here. Oh yeah. It's still humid as ever, but it's definitely noticeably cooler. We're lower. Yeah, it feels great in here in comparison to up there on the asphalt out in the sun. You never ran here though, right? Just walked with the family? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people do run here, but... Right. Yeah, one place I would like to go more often, but we don't because of the parking, is Lake Johnson, kind of on the south side of Raleigh, north side of Garner. That's a 3-mile loop. It also doesn't have a bathroom halfway around, which is kind of problematic. But that's all paved, and that would be a place, you know, Don would be able to run if other people wanted to walk or do mobility devices or something. What do you call what he was on?
A recumbent.
Recumbent?
Recumbent. Yeah.
He was on a bicycle on his back that looked like a dune buggy.
It's 3 wheels.
3 wheels, yeah. I missed him. He came around that curve pretty fast. There was nothing I could do to get ready for him. This hill is so steep that they had to give people instructions as if they can't remember how to drive. Stay to the right always, especially if you're slow. Yeah, I'm gonna be happy on the way back down because this is quite the hill up, but then we get to come down it, and that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be more fun.
But don't worry, we have to go up the other hill
to
the parking lot. So you don't win. There's no right way to approach this. You got to go up and down both ways.
That's right. It's police officers in chairs on the left and a lion on the right. I don't get it, but you know, sometimes you don't have to get art. The bike riders have been very communicative about their direction. Yeah, this is someplace if you can't stand noise and you can't stand heights, you probably don't want to be very long or at all. I don't like the noise, but I love the view. It's different, it's interesting. There's one of these in Cary, but I've never been on that one. We're very close to Crabtree Valley Mall. You know, one of the reasons we don't walk here more often is because it is like a 35 to 45 minute drive to get to this park. Definitely a weekend only consideration. To say, I feel it's totally safe up here, even for kids and strollers and pets and stuff to walk across. This chain link fence goes all the way to the bottom and is sealed up tight, and it's also curved at the top, and it's lighted at night. As I stand here for a minute, I think how great it would be to have Teslas coming and going in both directions and people up here filming. I thought maybe a Tesla would come by in the 1 minute I stood here. Not so far. It's the same guy as earlier. Don pointed it out so I'd be ready. Looks like fun.
Well, it is, except up this hill.
I bet. Up the hill is a challenge for all of us. There's where we came from. And I think I said we wanted to go this way until we see a trail going off to the right, which will take us back to the sunflowers. You know, me and Don, we like to make a circle. We don't like to double back the way we came if we can help it. That is one old, large, big tree with both Virginia creeper and poison ivy growing on it. Oh joy. There's more jewelweed. I really regret that somehow I missed when it bloomed this year. Oh well, there's always next year, and there's plenty of it. The second day of EV Community Day has started, and this is an awesome place to be because there are Pokestops at every piece of art, which means there's a lot of them. Back to the parking lot, but I want to go to the museum park where the artwork is, and that's to the right. This is our to the right area. We're only at about 2 miles at this point. Not very far at all. They have water on the trail. No bathrooms, but there is water over there. Lots of dogs out here. That dog back there was sniffing into the woods. It really looked like it had caught the scent of a deer. It's amazing how much beauty they can add just by allowing some darker stenciling on the lighter asphalt. It's very pretty. These were here the last time I was here. I really like them. It's a northern water snake, same kind of snake we see over at Yates Mill, not to be confused with a copperhead. There's a bench in the shade nearby, and Don took a seat and told me to have at it, with a good attitude. It's just really hot out here today, and if you're not taking pictures, why would you want to stand in the sun? I will make the whole loop around, despite this not being the most picturesque group of sunflowers we've ever seen. But like I said, look, I appreciate this because they've left it like a prairie, where they've added in some, I'm going to say, non-invasive sunflowers in with the zinnias and stuff here, and left it to look like a real wildflower bed of flowers versus a agricultural planting. So I'm not going to critique it too much. And it's still quite pretty. So that old smokestack over there, they left it on purpose. There are chimney swifts in it. They are actually endangered at this point. So there's a movement when you come in and do redevelopment not to take down the smokestacks. We actually have chimney swifts in our chimney at the house. We've had them every year since I moved in, and Don says before that. And we don't burn fires and we don't do anything to get rid of them, and they never get in the house or anything. And they're endangered at this point, so leaving, you know, not destroying their habitats and allowing them to do what they do is a good thing. Now the bats in the eaves of the house, sometimes we try to encourage them to move along. But the birds in the fireplace are okay. It would have been a good idea for Don to come along with me just to look out for fire ant mounds, snakes, and other things I might get myself into, but I'm trying to keep a good lookout for those kind of things. I certainly don't want to ruin my day by having terrible swelling or itching because of anything this afternoon. I'm so excited to see milkweed, the old traditional milkweed, the not tropical milkweed. This is what I grew up in New Jersey playing with as a kid. We would tear it apart and pull the seeds out and look at the milk, and we were just fascinated with it. Surprised I don't see any milkweed beetles on any of the seed pods. Huh. As you know, monarchs need these for food. Both these and the tropical ones. Oh, here's some of the beetles. Here, I'll take a picture with the camera. All of a sudden, I got sweat in my right eye, and yowie. Oh, I see goldfinch. I see goldfinch. But the big camera hasn't bothered me today like it has some days, so I'm really appreciative of that, although Don would take it if I wanted him to. And I'm sure we're all really grateful and thankful to Don for bringing me here today to get some interesting, different video, and because it's hot. It's not a...
It's pretty yucky.
Yeah, it's pretty yucky, but the view and the flowers and the insects, and I'm like so excited, I'm giddy about some of the things I got to take photographs of today. So you can't do that in December. We'll be back when it's cool just for the walk. But, you know, for now, this was great. I met a fellow birder, told her definitely worth standing in the heat to get the goldfinch and indigo buntings down by the sunflowers. She was out here walking with the Audubon group this morning, and you know, they've got experts in the group obviously that know what they're looking at better than I do, and maybe I should do that sometime. That might be fun. There were a few signs back there that said that they are all into this being very natural. See here, they're trying to clean runoff water. You know, they've given some thought to this being a very natural prairie type area versus an agricultural area. I really like it. They've done good. We'll come back next year for the sunflowers if we hear they're planted again. And even if they're just planting the zinnias and coneflowers and other things, that's good. Blanket flower. Now, if there were only some Gulf fritillary butterflies. I ever only see them at the beach in North Carolina. I've not seen them in the Piedmont. Don's over there. I talked to that nice lady back there for a while. You know, you got a camera around your neck, I'm liable to start talking to you about what's worth photographing at the park. Well, I'm liable to just start talking to anybody anyway. That's just how I am. But other photographers for sure, especially if they have tips. She said there was a blue grosbeak over here, but I'm not sure I'll be able to find him by his call. So they obviously expected people to look out over this area and take pictures and film and such. Okay, so they call it a meadow versus a prairie. I guess that makes sense since we're on the East Coast, but you knew what I meant. A natural open field area. Don got to the shade and is waiting up for me. He always waits up for me. I don't blame him for not stopping where it's sunny. I wouldn't stop where it was sunny either. He's never impatient with me on our walks about the pictures. He's a great guy. You're a great guy, Donnie.
It's changed over the last 200 years from the woodlands to a series of military, agricultural, and prison functions. The NCMA is restoring health to the site by establishing the meadow as a community gathering place for art, nature, and people.
Yep, and it talks about woodland activity, Civil War stuff, Camp Polk, State Prison Farm, Polk Youth Center, grazing for cows and horses for the NCSU Veterinary School, Polk Youth Center, Museum Park opened in 2003, prison torn down, and Museum Park expansion. This is obviously new. Well, I guess if you're going to be an art museum, you do want to encourage to have a place for people to do art. We're just under 20%, so Sentry mode is unavailable. And we didn't leave climate on, but if we had, it would have turned off.
Blasting today.
Yeah, Don and I are really missing that the car is hot and not cool, but we didn't turn climate on because of our range level today, just to be on the safe side. Plus, it would have cut off anyway. It's pumping now, though, and quickly, but yeah, we miss it. We're addicted to climate on when we get in the car.
Yeah, it's noticeable that it wasn't on. I mean, it was like night and day. I mean, like, holy crap, the car's hot.
Yeah. All right, what's our stats?
So I did 8,219 steps, 3.37 miles, 2740 pace, which was, you know, expected. I mean, we wandered around.
Right, and I took pictures, and today was about exercise and having fun, whereas on weekdays it's more just about the exercise. I'm a little bit over 8,000 steps too, and I probably won't do the desk cycle today because that heat was pretty intensive and I've sweated a lot, and that was a lot of body stress there on walking out in the heat today.
Yeah, it was.
He's got 10,000 steps and I only have 8,000 steps. It is not fair. Now today he actually circled a few times while I was taking pictures, so maybe I get it, but it's like this every day, and normally I walk farther than him.
Yeah.
He's gonna let me go look for Cybertrucks. I said the Walmart, but now I'm changing it to the Target and the Walmart since it's convenient to swing into both.
Yeah, this direction.
Yep. And that's all I don't need anything else. I just want to go to the Hot Wheels aisle. While I got door service plus Tesla service. Be my chauffeur, Donnie, be my chauffeur. Well, they haven't put out anything new here. The selection is low. Right offhand, I don't see Don, but we'll figure it out. It's busy over here on the weekend, so I totally get that. You know, I don't expect him to look out for me constantly. Okay, I think I see Jules. Not sure I see Don, though. Could be any other white Tesla. But I'll walk toward that one. Has the right wheels. It's performance. It is a Y. That must be Don. Yeah, the sight of all that asphalt over there makes me nervous. Apparently they felt the parking lot was bad enough to totally redo it. I don't get it. I never thought this parking lot was bad. It doesn't look bad. It's faded, but it's not potholey or anything. Well, whatever they feel they need to do, as long as we're not near the asphalt, we won't be coming back to this Walmart for a couple weeks. Let them get all that done, and hopefully several rainstorms, and just stay away from the asphalt. I'll take a quick look from underneath. Looks like the same cars that were at Fuquay. No luck. There were some on the bottom that were flat and obviously not gone through, but no luck. Let me look down on the end, because sometimes this store has a big display on one of the back sides of these aisles too. Although no reason to believe that they would have put them over here versus over there, but can't hurt to look. Yeah, this is probably more than I can go through while Don waits. But a cursory glance is just telling me that these are the same as what I saw at Walmart Fuquay, which does not contain or has already been picked through for the Cybertruck. No luck, and I did bend over to look at all of them from underneath. Read what the wording was. I realize I'm nuts, but they've started putting the fall stuff out here, and I'm finding it a welcome reprieve to the heat of summer. See? Fall stuff going out. I don't know if you can see that, but this shopping center is so busy. I don't see where he is. I was trying to locate him using the, you know, the app. And I actually do see him now. He's in front of me out here. But it let me know I was getting close. It's a very useful feature. Very useful feature. He's got his eyes closed. I love that he's so patient about letting me hop out and look at things. Johnny said it rained. He sent me a message, and yeah, it rained, and there's even some puddles and water standing in places, so maybe we got 1/4 of an inch. Got a little something to perk the plants in the yard back up. That would be nice. I did get the battery very low message. Don's gonna plug her in.
Yeah, we'll plug her in.
Well, we had 1/10 of an inch, just enough to make it a steamy mess out there. Well, Johnny's getting homemade chicken tenders and homemade with sour cream ranch dressing, because I'm really trying for us to not eat any soybean oil at all. I don't care if it's organic or not, and so you got to make your own ranch. You can't eat the store-bought stuff. Garlic, dill, salt, black pepper, a dash of cayenne. And I've got some herb thing and a little minced onion. Yeah, I don't measure. I just pour it. All right, what were those numbers again?
The census data, the preliminary, has been released for Wake County. Apex is 58,780. Cary has 174,721 population. Fuquay-Varina has 34,152. Now that's up from the prior census in 2010. We had 16,215.
So that's basically they more than doubled.
Yeah, more than doubled, right? Garner is 31,150.
Wow, Fuquay's bigger than Garner.
That's correct. Holly Springs is 41,239. Nightdale is 19,435. Raleigh is 467,665.
How big was Apex again? That was the first one you read?
58,780.
So not that far above Holly Springs, which is not that far above Fuquay.
That's right. But Cary is pretty sizable.
Yeah, well, Cary's sprawled.
Yeah.
Cary annexed everything in sight.
That's right.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to understand the density per square mile.
Yeah.
That would be more telling than just a number.
Right. Well, they also didn't tabulate the total for Wake County. They should have tabulated that.
In the newspaper. Yeah.
They didn't do that.
Bacon's done.
Yep. Alexa, stop.
Come on and see me, Panther. Hi, bud. Hi. Hi. Panther. Hi, buddy. Come here. Good boy. Good boy. He just makes sure the coast is clear, and he's never sure about the camera. Hi, bud. Come on. Hi. Panther. Hi. Hi. There's my buddy. He was the first cat here at the house. You know, he brought Kitty with us, but Panther was kind of here. Him and Don had a don't ask, don't tell. There's Slate. Gray and Slate were on the carpet when I came out, but when they hear the door, obviously they hop up, and there's Gray, who is loving my leg before I go take my shower, because I still haven't done that. I usually come in from exercise, come sit with her for a few minutes, because she really likes to rub up against me, and you may remember I'm allergic to cats, so and pollen and grass and all the good stuff, so it's better if I love on her and then just go wash up. But I let her love as much as she wants to. I'm hearing some rumbles of thunder, but I checked the radar a few minutes ago, and it's pouring Raleigh north, not much Raleigh south. Bummer. I mean, you know, we could have got 2 inches of rain today and I'd have been good with it. Here, I came out to check on you if you're okay. There's Panther and there's Slade. I don't know where Gray is. Anyway, we've got a storm that's rolled up. The hill crew is on the platform. Tux is with Johnny. And I wouldn't surprise me if Gray is here. No, I don't know where Gray is. She may be under the front porch. I mean, you know, the cats have got a lot of hiding capabilities and are fine. Even in a hurricane, they got places to hide. But it's rumbling, and we're getting some rain now. Yay!
I don't go watch TV today.
But it's still raining out there.
Well, honest, Ruby and I won't care if we get wet. I promise.
Okay. I love you.
I love you too.
Yeah, he's not, it's 6:20, but he's not super hungry because we had bacon and eggs again. Mm-hmm. We are still planning to warm up the split pea, but in an hour we'll be just fine.
That's right.
Oh my goodness, it actually is still raining. Not heavy, obviously. But it is. Hi, Mart Mart. Are you nice and dry? Tux is in the house, so you got your choice of locations. Did you see all them bugs on the front grill? That's what a week's worth of driving back and forth to downtown Raleigh will do to a car.
Okay, the pressure washer just cut them right off.
Thank you. I'll try not to feel too bad if it just rains again tomorrow afternoon, but at least the bugs are off in the front.
Well, what I'll try to do tomorrow morning, I mean, obviously she's going to dry and she's going to be spotty. I'll take the...
no rinse, wash, and shine, and
just
yeah.
Just to kind of... That'll get rid of the water spots.
Gotcha.
But I'm getting off the dirt right now.
You didn't hear that. We won't fuss at him for being out here.
Oh, the light never killed nobody. Oh, that's not right.
Donnie. Don's back inside safe and sound.
Yep.
And it's 7 now and we're fixing to have our split pea soup and...
Feed me.
Yes. But first, let me talk about my Lego project and then I'll get up. Because I have been working on it for a while.
Yep, she's been at it all afternoon.
Well...
I meant that in a good way. Yeah.
Well, maybe 90 minutes. I mean, I wasn't working on it from like 1 to 5 or anything today.
Okay.
Yeah. So first off, we got roof line going here. So it's starting to look like a real building, right? That was pretty easy to build and I had all of the pieces and I need the rest of the supports, obviously, to make it fit just right. Second off, the glass came for all these windows and I went all the way around it, inserted it. I added the stairs and they're supposed to have the blue runner, just like you see the blue up here. So I built and added on the stairs. Yeah, and I sorted some bricks and I put some more white topper on where it needed to go. And I'll pick back up tomorrow.